what is this subject of purpose and passion? What do I commit my life to? How do we go about answering that?
See, if you get absolutely committed to your purpose, you will be called a fanatic. If you are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that, you will be called a terrorist. So there is no purpose to life. If you… if you are not a vested interest, and you can be not a vested interest only when you're joyful by your own nature, that how you are is determined by you. So, this is the fundamental you have to set, that your experience of life is determined by you. When I say experience of life, people are always thinking experiences happen because of external stimuli. No, if you dream of a tiger, you can experience fear, isn't it? You can dream of somebody beautiful and experience love, yes or no? So I'm saying all experiences cause from within you. Human experience happens from within you, never from outside of you. There may be a stimuli. Now this stimuli means just like this, you're too young to know these things. There used to be Vauxhall cars in this country. They always used to park it in a slope like this, because morning, you need two people to push that car in the morning, in 50s and 60s, I'm saying. Later on, they had crank start. You need one person to do that, otherwise you can't get your car started. Today all cars are self-start. I'm asking you, your peace, your joy, your love, your blissfulness, would you want to keep it on self-start or push-start?
Self-start. I wouldn't want it to rely on
This is the
anyone
question
else.
you're asking repeatedly. You want push-start. Don't be on push-start. Inner experiences are always on self-start. Outside world will never happen 100% our way. Little bit your way, little bit my way, little bit somebody else's way. And that's how it should be. Because if everything happened your way, where the hell do I go? It doesn't happen your way or my way, it's fine. It is only fine if you're joyful by your own nature. But if your happiness depends on what happens on the outside, then you being happy is a remote possibility.
I want to be happy on my own nature. I hear what you've said. However, I'm gonna walk out of this room and, I don't know, something's gonna annoy me. Maybe my words are even wrong, but then I'll immediately snap back into the sort of unconscious, I don't know, dismay or despair. How does one go about, like, the first step in becoming happy by our own nature?
Do you think your life is worthwhile? Your life is worth investing about 32 hours of focused time upon your life.
Yes.
If you think so, you should do that. This is what the process that I've called it as inner engineering. 32 hours of focused time. Book is just a large brochure, because there is a practice involved. When I say a practice, a simple practice which only 21 minutes of practice, to teach this 21-minute practice, we take 32 hours of orientation, because without that, it won't happen. You need to understand how the mechanism of your own thoughts, why are they hitting… See, if your hand is punching you in the face, why is it doing that? You need to understand. Otherwise, just holding it down is not the answer. This is the most sophisticated machine on the planet. Have you read the user's manual?
The user's manual for my body?
For yourself as a life.
No, I didn't know there
No.
was one.
So when do you want to do it? Towards the end of the life is when people think they should do it. It's like you got yourself your iPad. Should you read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're getting rid of the machine?
When I first get it.
Yes.
But nobody gives me the user's manual for myself.
No, the thing is it's inbuilt, you have to just pay attention.
How do I do that?
We will do one thing right now. Shall we do a simple experiment with you?
Yes.
You'll have to do this with your eyes closed.
Okay.
But right now, look at me.
Okay.
Afterwards we can do. You place your palms like this, facing down upon your thigh, gently placed. So, you will start breathing slightly deeper, 10–15% deeper than normal, don't do it yet, hello.
Okay.
And as you're doing it, I will say switch. Then you turn your hands around gently upon your thigh, like this. And again when I say switch, get back this way.
Okay.
In these two conditions, something about your breath will change. I will also give you a clue what could be changed. Where the air is filling up in your lungs, how it fills up, something about it will change. Or let me put it this way, the maximum expansion and contraction, in which part of the chest is it happening? This way, which way? This way, which way? Just notice that. Just hold your palms facing down, close your eyes.
Okay, and when you say switch, turn my hands over, right?
Yes. Breathe slightly deeper, not very forcefully, just 10–15% more. Notice where the maximum expansion and contraction is happening. Switch. Switch again. Please open your eyes. There's some difference?
Yeah.
What is it?
In what part I feel… how I feel?
No.
Or my breathing?
Where is the maximum expansion and contraction when you're holding two different postures?
I felt like my chest and my belly were expanding more when I was switching. I felt like I was just getting more air into my body.
Let me tell you what's happening. You can experiment by yourself and see. When you have your hands facing together, facing down with all fingers together, maximum expansion, contraction is happening in the lower lobe of the lung.
Yeah.
If you turn it around, it shifts to the middle lobe of the lung. A middle lobe being much larger, you feel more, but actually it's the shift. So I'm saying, just by turning your hands around like this, the very way you breathe is altering itself. It's not just the breath. The very way your life energies function is altering itself. How many times in a day, unconsciously are you… Now you're setting your energies into turmoil and hoping to be peaceful. It will not work, and I'm happy it doesn't work, because if it works for you by doing wild things and still everything is peaceful and wonderful within you, then what is the use of my life? Spending a whole lifetime paying attention to every little thing that's happening here. I'm saying, if you can drive blind on the London streets and not hit anything, a good driver will feel insulted, isn't it? That's all I'm saying.
But how do we learn the user manual for ourselves though? So, it's not something we go and read in a book. You said
The problem is this, all your sense organs are outward bound. Because they are survival instruments. Your sense organs, your ability to see, hear, smell, taste and touch are essentially your survival instruments. Life cannot be enhanced by them. You can only survive better. If you see better than me, you can survive better than me. If you hear better than me, you can survive better than me. But this life will not feel enhanced by perceiving more through the five sense organs. And they're all outward bound. You can see me. Can you roll your eyeballs inward and scan yourself? No. You can hear that. So much happening in the body, can you hear that? No. So, all your sense organs are only to perceive what's happening around you, not to perceive what's within you. So, to perceive within you, you need to turn inward. That needs a little… because it's not survival. Something has to be done. You know how to write English language?
Yeah.
Yes. To learn that damn 26 alphabets, it took some effort, isn't it? Hello?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It took some effort and it took some guidance, because anything that's beyond survival needs striving. That striving is missing in the society. There was a time where in the civilization that we refer to as Hindustan or Bharat, or today being the political country is being called as India, in this culture, 70% of the people were invested in inward well-being. Because of that, they became super enhanced. Because of that enhancement, they became so wealthy in everything, rich in mathematics, rich in astronomy, rich in business, rich in trade, rich in industry. It was the richest nation on the planet just 300 years ago. See, everybody from here, whether it's English or French or Portuguese, everybody went to India. You think in search of poverty? In search of wealth, isn't it? It became like that effortlessly, without conquering anybody, without having large armies. because people invested in enhancing themselves. I'm telling you, if you try to enhance your activity without enhancing yourself, you'll only die of stress. This is what is happening to, unfortunately, whole lot of CEOs. I'm concerned about this because a CEO means you gave something that is important, that needs to happen in the world, into his hands, his or her hands. And if they are stressed out, what misery will they create for the rest of the world? It's very important.
That journey to taking care of ourselves, like I had to learn how to read a book or to learn language.
No, I'm saying anything that's not survival
Yeah,
will not come naturally, you have to strive. The society has to create that longing. Being peaceful and joyful is more important for a human being's experience of life than me being better than you. That orientation the society has to create, isn't it?
I agree. I agree. It just seems like there's such a powerful narrative coming from social media, magazines, TV, movies that are
Yes, I'm not denying that.
making us individualistic and…
It's not even individualistic, it's always about me being better than you. It started from the kindergarten school. There itself they told you, I am first rank, you are third rank. From there it started, I am better than you. So, the whole life is about being better than somebody means, essentially what it means is, I enjoy your failures. Does it sound like joy to you or sickness to you?
sounds like a sickness.
It is a sickness. We're building into our children right from day one.
What about trauma? I was thinking about early trauma and how that drives us away from a life of contentment and drives us towards, a life where we might end up in prison or we might be dysfunctional in other ways because of something early that happened when we were 7 years old. It could be a small thing or a big trauma that has orientated us to be greedy or to be selfish or to be, in the worst case, maybe to hurt others.
See, essentially you're finding an excuse for the way you are, which you yourself don't like. See, if something unpleasant happened to you, you have two choices. Either you can become wise or you can become wounded. Choose. More unpleasant things happen to you than anybody else. You must be the wisest man soonest. No, you choose to be wounded because you carry this wound like a badge and so that you can cause the same wound to others. What's the point? When you know the pain of it, how do you do the same thing to me?
But it becomes a survival
No,
technique to
see,
some
there
people.
is no excuse. The thing is just this, instead of intelligently, consciously responding to life, you are reacting like any other creature, that's all.
So something bad happens to me when I'm 7 years old and these neurons fire in my brain that make me react badly.
This is all WhatsApp neurology. Whoever told you these things? Right now, we have a research center in Harvard Medical School in Beth Israel Hospital, okay? Right now in October, this month, on 17th to 21st, we have a international conference there. In these 5-6 years of its existence, they have done a lot of study. One thing they found was, I can't go into all the scientific things, I'm not a scientist, but one important thing is, this simple 21-minute practice I'm talking about, people who did this for over 6 to 8 weeks, the endocannabinoids in their system is 70% higher than what is considered to be normal. What is normal for a happy person, it's 70% higher than that. You know what's endocannabinoid?
No.
You know what's cannabis?
Yeah.
Yes. Every human being has cannabis receptors. This doesn't mean that this body was created to smoke cannabis. You're supposed to produce it. When you don't produce it, you try to substitute from outside. That's a different matter. Let me not go into that aspect. But 70% higher, what this means is, it is about 23% higher than what happens in sexual orgasm or extreme exercise. Simply sitting here. So if you felt like that every moment of your life, Do I have to tell you, don't rob, don't kill, don't do this?
No. No.
That's all you need to… We've not fixed that one thing. See, when you were a child, when you were 5 years of age, you were just bubbling with joy by your own nature, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to work hard to make you unhappy at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now somebody has to work hard to make you happy. What happened to the equation? If you had really grown up, 5 years if you're that happy, by the time you're 31, you should have been ecstatic. Isn't it?